Hey everyone, hello. As always, I hope this video finds you in good health and in good spirits. So I wanted to do a video today on things people believe about Jesus' birth that are not in the Bible. As we have Christmas approaching around the corner, I thought this would be a fitting topic. One thing that people believe is that Jesus was born in a manger. Rather than being born in a manger, Jesus was more likely born in a private home. And while the word kataluma is sometimes translated as inn, it actually refers to the reception room in a house rather than a public inn, as many people assume. And this mistranslation has contributed significantly to the popular narrative of the nativity story. Joseph and Mary were likely traveling to join their family for a Roman census, meaning that they may have been staying with relatives. The cultural context of the time suggests that it would have been highly unusual for a family member to turn away a pregnant relative, especially given the strong emphasis on hospitality in the Middle Eastern culture. The image of a baby born to forlorn outcast parents thrown out by an innkeeper and forced to sleep in a manger is potent. However, no evidence for the reality of this image exists within the Bible. The conflicting evidence is found elsewhere, and biblical scholars suggest that the lower rooms of the house, where animals were often kept at night, might have been used because the upper guest rooms were already occupied, not because the family was turned away from proper lodging. Another thing people believe, Mary arrived in Bethlehem the same night that she gave birth. And the notion that Mary arrived at the manger the very night she gave birth is likely an invitation of, or an invention rather, not an invitation, of storytellers, basically attempting to build drama. This dramatic timing has become a staple for Christmas pageants and holiday films, creating a sense of urgency and divine timing that appeals to audiences. And Jesus' seemingly humble beginnings also make his eventual savior status even more noteworthy by contrast, fitting neatly into the narrative arc of the divine plan. However, there is no indication that Mary gave birth the night she arrived in Bethlehem. The Gospel of Luke simply says, "And so it was that while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered." This phrasing suggests a passage of time between the arrival and the birth, rather than the rushed, dramatic scenario often portrayed in today's popular culture. And another big one, Jesus was born December 25th, 1 AD. No, not accurate. December 25th was chosen as the date of Jesus' birth long after the fact to make conversion seem more palatable to pagans. A December 25th celebration of Christmas easily replaced the annual winter festivals, or Saturnalia in the case of the Romans, and I've done videos on that before as well, and carried over some of its traditions. And the Bible does not mention December 25th, and early Christians didn't celebrate Christmas at all, focusing instead on Easter as the most significant Christian holiday. The actual date of Jesus' birth is unknown. Scholars have attempted to pinpoint the month and day based on the date of King Herod's passing, after which there was a supposed mass elimination of infants. However, based on lack of evidence, researchers have determined this tragic event never occurred. Historical records from the time period are incomplete, and the gospel accounts themselves don't provide specific chronological markers to help establish an exact time for Jesus' birth. And similarly, astronomers and biblical scholars have extensively studied celestial phenomena that might correspond to the Star of Bethlehem, examining historical records of comets, supernova, and planetary conjunctions that occurred during the likely time frame of Jesus' birth. Now, some theories suggest it could have been a rare alignment of Jupiter and Saturn, while others propose it might have been Halley's Comet or an exceptionally bright nova. However, despite the scientific attempts at explanation, no conclusive astronomical evidence exists to definitively identify the Star of Bethlehem as a real celestial event. And many scholars now view it as a theological symbol rather than a historical phenomena, representing divine guidance and fulfillment of prophecy. And despite this murky historical and astronomical evidence, generally scholars' census, based on historical records and biblical chronology, places Jesus' birth somewhere between 6 BC and 4 BC during the reign of King Herod the Great. Another thing people believe is that 3 wise men were present. More than any other aspect of the Nativity, the three wise men, or the Magi, represent one of the most significant examples of how popular tradition has embellished biblical narrative. The Bible mentions these mysterious visitors only sparingly, primarily in the Gospel of Matthew, where their encounter with King Herod and subsequently journey following the Star of Bethlehem is described. Their actual interaction with Jesus is remarkably brief, contained within just a few poignant lines. Then they saw a star. They rejoiced with exceedingly great joy. And when they had come into the house, they saw the young child with Mary, his mother, and fell down and worshipped him. And when they had opened their treasures, they presented gifts to him, gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Then, being divinely warned in a dream that they should not return to Herod, they departed for their own country another way. Notably, the word 3 never appears in the biblical account. The common assumption was that there were 3 wise men, stemmed solely from the 3 gifts presented to Jesus: gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Historical interpretations, however, suggest there could have been as few as 2 or even as many as 12 magi present at this momentous occasion. The actual number remains one of the many mysteries surrounding the nativity story. And then there's the animals that surrounded Jesus at the nativity. In 2012, Pope Benedict XVI, formerly known as Cardinal Ratzinger, was a controversial statement challenging one of the most beloved elements of traditional nativity scenes. In his scholarly work, Jesus of Nazareth, The Infancy Narratives, Benedict XVI directly addresses this popular misconception, stating plainly in the Gospel that there is no mention of animals. This observation, while historically accurate, presents an interesting paradox, as he acknowledges that even the Vatican's own nativity scene includes a donkey among other animals. However, maintaining his commitment to biblical literalism, he emphasizes that no scriptural evidence supports these cherished pastoral additions to the nativity scene. Also, the wise men were Eastern kings who rode camels. European aristocratic and cultural interpretations have particularly influenced the romanticized portrayal of the wise men over the centuries. The common depiction of these visitors riding camels across vast deserts was crafted to emphasize their exotic Eastern origins in European audiences. However, historical evidence suggests that during this period, camels were primarily used as beasts of burden by common traders and merchants. The wealthy and distinguished travelers, such as the Magi, would have been more likely to have chosen to ride elegant Arabian horses, which are considered more prestigious and comfortable for long-distance travel. While historical and biblical evidence supports the assumption that the wise men were affluent and educated, there is no historical basis for the popular belief that they were kings from Persia, India, or Arabia. Such a significant diplomatic event, the journey of 3 foreign monarchs to pay homage to a newborn king, would surely have been documented in multiple historical records of the time. However, no such documentation exists, suggesting that the Magi were likely learned and wealthy individuals from distant lands, that they were not royal. The point was emphatically made by the influential 16th century Protestant reformer John Calvin, who dismissed this. He dismissed this and believed in the royal status of the wise men with characteristic directness, stating that beyond a doubt that they have been stupefied by righteous judgment of God, and that all might laugh at their gross ignorance. So yeah, there you have it. Are you surprised by these biblical facts? Share your thoughts below. Tell me what you think. Leave some comments. I'd love to have some interaction and see what you guys think. Also, I would appreciate it if you like and follow my little account here. Anyway, I hope you found this video entertaining, enlightening, or in some way beneficial. All right, everyone, take care. Peace.